Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sandy Potter, along with Masonicare President and CEO, JP Venoit, and Dr. Ronald Schwartz, our Senior Director for Continuum Health Services. We're checking in with you once again as we all stand together to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. Dr. Schwartz, Thanksgiving is next week, and we all long to be close to our loved ones. But it's a tricky situation right now, to say the least. What is your advice?
Well, sadly enough, there is an increase in cases, as most of you know by listening to the news throughout the country, Connecticut, and in our health center as well. And, the one thing I do want to say is I think we all did an outstanding job working together in the early parts of the pandemic in March and April, May and June, and the numbers and the low incidence rates of COVID reflect that. And I think now more than ever, we have to be diligent to realize that we can't let our guard down. We just have to keep fighting. We're all tired, but if we work together, we'll get through this and things will be okay. And I think one of the things that I look at as a medical doctor are recommendations from the CDC, and the CDC stands for the Center for Disease Control. And they make certain suggestions that we follow and that I speak to you about to try to keep people safe during Thanksgiving and other holidays and to prevent the COVID spread. And again, I share with all of you the same feeling that I love to be with family. It's an exciting time, a time I look forward to. But we all have a responsibility and we all need to be diligent to that responsibility. So with that being said, some suggestions and some recommendations by the CDC include the most basic one: stay home. If you're going to have a dinner, have it with members of your family. It's the simplest and members of your family household, and it's the simplest and safest way to do things. If you are going to host an outside gathering, I think the 2 points that are emphasized: keep it small and keep it short, because the spread of the virus is more limited with shorter duration and smaller amount of people. Certainly with outside guests, you want to wear masks, you want to practice social distancing and hand washing. And some suggestions that the CDC did recommend is, if you can, and I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but you have gatherings outside are better than inside. And, even having guests, as unusual as this might sound, bringing their own food if they're from other households, and eating their food, but you still can be together, and certainly avoiding potluck dinners, that type of thing. And in addition, what you don't want to do is socialize with people that are sick, or if you're sick, you want to prevent contact when you have illness. So people that might be having COVID symptoms, that might have been exposed to people with COVID-19 or awaiting COVID-19 testing, shouldn't socialize with each other. But I think out of all of this, the most important thing that I can emphasize as a medical doctor, and it's probably one of the most difficult things to emphasize, is please avoid out-of-state travel. I think that's probably the key thing. Almost every state is a red hotspot state right now, and we just have, it's just too much risk for traveling. I think on a positive spot, what I did want to say was that there is encouraging news that I'm sure most of you know, that vaccines are coming, and vaccines that so far the preliminary data have high efficacy rates. And I think it's something to be very hopeful for. And in the meantime, we just have to do our best to be diligent until the vaccines are here. And again, what I do is I need inspiration, and I'll give you one final inspirational quote before I end. And this one says, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain." And I think that's what we all have to do, just change our thoughts a little bit and and we can all dance a little bit differently, but these holiday season. Thank you.
Dr. Schwartz, the words are always spot on. And I was going to say, too, that a lot of people are turning to do their Thanksgiving gatherings virtually this year. And I was reading just yesterday that Zoom is going to allow people to not have a limit on their traditional 40-minute limit on their free accounts. So on Thanksgiving Day only. So that's another option for families to be able to reach out to loved ones who they can't be physically with, to be able to connect with on the holidays. I wanted to let everybody know that's a great option as well. And JP, the holidays are traditionally big times of celebration at Masonicare. How are we approaching the holidays this year for our residents?
Well, Sandy, your comments with Zoom and Dr. Schwartz's comments about being diligent during this time are spot on. And, you know, at Masonicare, we are in the midst of COVID-19. And here in Connecticut, we actually are unfortunately going to have one of the highest rates this month than any other month that we've had with COVID positive results. So why is that important to us as an organization? We need to continue to stay vigilant in how we are restricting those visitors, and also restrictions on many of our common areas of our community. And because of that, we've needed to find other ways in how we could celebrate Thanksgiving for our residents. And I'm very happy to say that our staff are putting together some great things in our communities to allow the ability for us to provide a great Thanksgiving meal, and some ability for us to still be thankful for everything that is happening, even though during this time it's hard to think of all the things to be thankful for. But there are so many things that we are very thankful for, and at Masonicare, the staff are going to do an amazing job at bringing that to light to all of our residents. With all that being said, I think we are also telling our residents in our residential living side to try to stay in. Don't go out to family events as much as they want to. Everything we can do to avoid the spread of this virus is what we've been telling our residents, and we'll continue to do that. And that is probably the most important thing for us is how do we mitigate this spread in our state, in our nation, and we can do it by some of the little things that we're doing in our campuses to allow for there to still be a good celebration of Thanksgiving, but minimizing that ability for the virus to spread. And I'm very confident that we can do that if we all stick together from the perspective of following what Dr. Schwartz has said.
Yes, that's what it's all about. And we are so grateful for our staff for everything they're doing to bring a wonderful holiday to all of our residents. And we can't thank them enough. Well, and thanks to both of you for sharing your time with us today and for all of this information. Thank you for watching at home. We hope you'll all stay safe and stay well.
Thank you.
You.